But that's your plug for tomorrow. Thank you, Yasmin, for joining us this morning. And on to our next topic. An Israeli mother has been ordered by a religious court to circumcise her son against her will or face fines of $150 a day while the procedure remains undone. The unprecedented ruling has been handed down by one of Israel's rabbinical court, which has, legal jurisdiction over the religious question. To hear more about it, we are joined by Protect the Child founder Eran Sadeh, and later on by documentary filmmaker, professor at religion at Huntington University, Dr. Simcha Jacobovich. But first, Eran Sadeh, good morning to you. Okay, we will shortly be joined by our guest. Okay, thank you. And now, Eran, essentially, you are the founder of Protect the Child. Okay, yes. And you are also a father.
Yes, I am.
And you have decided not to circumcise your son, which must have been a really tough decision to make in Israel.
It was. 2 days before the planned circumcision, because my wife and I had no hesitation about circumcising our son, and 2 days before the circumcision, I went online and looked for recommendations about the Dr. Mohel we chose, and then I stumbled upon information against circumcision, and what triggered my disgust was a quote from Maimonides, who says that the main purpose, the main target of circumcision is inflicting damage on the penis to diminish the sexual pleasure of the male, which was immediately a shock for me, and it horrified me because it associated with the same motivation that is behind female genital cutting, mutilation, and I was shocked, and I went on to read every piece of information I could find about the foreskin, and I learned that it is a vital organ, and it's a vital part of the penis, and it is highly innervated, and anatomy specialists say that it is the main sensory unit of the penis. So once it is cut off, the sexual capacity of the penis is substantially reduced.
Right. Now, I'm just, again, this is a decision that you and your wife made together.
Yes.
One of the reasons we're sitting here this morning, and we are joined by Dr. Simcha Jacobovich of Huntington University, and thank you for being with us.
Yeah.
Is that, this is...
I'm not a doctor, I'm a professor there.
Professor, I'm sorry.
But I'm a filmmaker, that's my main thing.
But professor is much more important than filmmaker. One can argue. That said, this has been brought to light again because of a case that is pending now in the Israeli courts, that the rabbinical court ruled against a woman's decision who doesn't want to circumcise her son, that she has to. Now, as Eran Sadeh here, founder of Protect the Child, made the decision for his child because he's the father, shouldn't that be the decision of the parents, whether to circumcise their children or not?
I'm not a legal expert. I think in a democracy people should do whatever they want. I primarily look at history, and from a historical point of view, the defining thing that makes a Jew is the circumcision. That's why Abraham is called a Hebrew. In Hebrew, to be a Hebrew is lavo, to cross over. He doesn't cross over oceans. He crosses over from the state of not being Jewish to being Jewish, and the act that defines that is circumcision. In fact, other nations called other people barbarians. Jews didn't use that ever. For thousands of years, they called them the uncircumcised. So basically, this is the act by which a Jew completes the creation of God. God leaves one little thing for the Jew to do. Once he does that, they're partners in creation. Now, we're talking about a ritual that has taken place for almost 4,000 years. Now, people should be free to be Jews, not to be Jews. I'm not talking about from a democratic point of view. I'm just saying that this is at the core, and has always been, of Jewish identity.
But it's at the core of Jewish identity, for some people, I think, religion and people do change and evolve with times. So asking you, Eran Sadeh, would you say that your son is not Jewish?
He is, because his mother is Jewish. And according to Jewish law, the boy takes the status of his mother. So if his mother is Jewish, he is Jewish.
Yeah, but you're choosing Jewish law when you want to, when you don't want to. According to Jewish law, he also has to be circumcised.
Okay.
I mean...
the main point of the circumcision is the covenant, and the covenant should be made by the person himself. If a person reaches an age of...
According to Jewish law. According to Jewish law, the covenant is not made by the person himself.
if a person reaches an age of consent when he can understand and be informed of the consequences of amputating the foreskin, which is an important part of the penis, then he can make this covenant with God. If he wants to make this on his own body, he can very well do this after he is informed. But you cannot do this on another human being body, and the body of the child is not yours and is not his parents.
Quoting Jewish law. According to Jewish law, that's not the procedure. According to Jewish law, which you're quoting, you do inflict, you do this act at 8 days. The parents make that decision for the child. We've been doing it for almost 4,000 years, and thank God we're still here. That means we're still functional sexually. So the point is, we just celebrated Hanukkah. I assume that you two lit candles on Hanukkah. If you lit candles on Hanukkah, what you are celebrating is the battle between the uncircumcised, the people who wanted to stop circumcision, the Hellenists, and the ones, the Maccabees, who fought against them. You are actually celebrating the pro-circumcision, the victory of the pro-circumcision group. Basically, when circumcision went, the Jews disappeared. That's what I'm saying.
Just a minute before, I'm just trying to mediate this, and I'm wondering, you know, we can argue what makes a Jew, but if, you know, in times in history have shown that it doesn't matter what we think of what a Jew is, you know, once we're Jewish, we're Jewish. And I'm talking
it's
about
actually
Germany.
not like that.
Yeah, but hold on. Isn't that the right also of an individual in the 21st century to decide how, you know, their family is practicing Judaism?
Listen, you can define that a Jew is whoever loves falafel. That's fine. That's your choice. We live in a democracy. I'm just telling you that for the better part of 4,000 years, and according to Jewish law, this is the most basic act, the initiation into Jewish peoplehood. And once that custom disappeared, so did the Jews in that area. Now, they may have liked falafel, and they may have liked hummus, and they may have liked gefilte fish, and in Israel we may all like Arik Einstein, but that's not what has preserved Jewish peoplehood. Circumcision has. You want to break from that? That's your democratic choice, but at least know what it is that you're saying.
Real quickly, though, Eran Sadeh, you do consider your son to be Jewish, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and what I'm saying is that people today,
you like falafel and
people today live with the morals that have developed and evolved for 4,000 years. We don't practice the practices that were practiced 4,000 years ago. We're not stoning women to death or people to death for not observing Shabbat. So it is time for Jews and Judaism to progress and understand that morals have developed for the thousands of years, and when you afflict a wound and you violate the human rights of the child, then you have a conflict between the freedom of religion and the express of religion and the human rights of the child. And you have to respect the child and let him decide.
Now, sadly, I know we have about 30 seconds to finish, but I think we can all agree that it should be probably the decision of individuals, that it could be.
No, I think it's a decision of the parents. It's a beautiful act. It's
them being also individuals. But guys, thank you for joining me. And again, you know, we can discuss this forever. When we get back there, we will review something else of 2013 through the environmental lens. Before anything else, though, we're going to go back to the morning headlines.